Living a digital nomad travel lifestyle is amazing, and there are so many positives to living this lifestyle. However, there are many negatives as well that I have found really start to rear their head, not in the beginning, but as time goes on, whether that be in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, or even 5 or 10 years down the line. I left my home country a decade ago and I have been both an expat and a nomad throughout that time, living long term in various different countries in Asia, Europe, and Latin America, and also living short term anywhere from 1 to 3 months in other countries around the globe. Today, I'm going to share some of the reasons that I see why being a digital nomad is overrated. And also, since I live this lifestyle full time, I have left my country, my home country, and I have left that residency, banking, that entire system, and relocated my life and my finances abroad. I'm going to share my viewpoint on is digital nomad life overrated? Before diving in, I want to differentiate our definition at Work, Wealth, and Travel of a digital nomad and a global citizen, because both of these titles and the differentiation in the lifestyle of each is really going to come into play into the lifestyle and also the business and investments that I have created for myself. So, for us, a digital nomad is somebody who is wanting or currently is traveling the globe full time. It may be for 6 months, it may be for 5 years. However, at some point, they are either going to return to their home country or they still really have all of those main core ties to their home country. And so you are still in your home country's system and you can easily take advantage of the bank accounts, the credit cards, still being a resident, potential access to healthcare, to a retirement plan, maybe depending on your employer in the country. You really still have access to your home country and to all the services as if you were still living there. Whereas the clients that we work with and myself and the lifestyle that we have been building over the last decade is really a global citizen lifestyle where we help our clients and we have also established ourselves and our lives away from our home country, meaning we are leaving the system of that country and setting ourselves up with our bank accounts, our credit, our business, and really tax optimizing our business and citizenships and multiple residencies and really optimizing these in countries around the globe and optimizing them for what you may have heard of the five flag theory. So let's dive into some of the negatives that I myself have personally experienced and have had conversations with both digital nomads and global citizens over the years on some of the more negative and difficult aspects of living this lifestyle. So the first one, of course, is that you don't have a fixed home base. Now, this looks different for every individual, but for the most part, if you're especially a digital nomad, you're going to be traveling and you may be in a new place every week or every few weeks, up to maybe every 4 to 6 months. And if you're staying somewhere longer, then you likely are really more of a global citizen and you're establishing your life somewhere. So, not having a home base and really moving from place to place is a big difficulty. And a big part that goes into this difficulty as well is living your life out of 1, 2, maybe even 3 suitcases. It is a lot to travel throughout the globe with, but it also, while you are carrying a lot with you, it's not going to be enough just to simply have a few suitcases or maybe even a large backpack full of everything that you own. Yes, it's great to have some adventure gear, some clothes, but to really have the necessities that you need in life is going to be difficult to fit that into one backpack or a few suitcases. Whether it be you want a blender, a coffee maker, an air fryer, you have certain beauty products that you use. There are so many things that we really don't account for when we start this journey that make the small things in our lives that we just don't think about. Unless you're not only a minimal packer, but you live very minimally, and that does work for the right type of person. But usually living out of a suitcase, while it's fun for the first 1, 2, or 3 years, can get tiring after some time. And this is a big reason why I see many nomads giving up the nomadic lifestyle, whether it be full or part time. Another major issue that I see when speaking with digital nomads and global citizens is family and friends. So, likely you have a home back home in your home country. You've lived there, you maybe have grown up there, and you really have a solid base of family and friends who you really want to spend your time with. And I will say that I see many nomads who become global citizens and relocate full time. They still do have friendships in their home countries, but those friendships become much weaker. And you really do have to put in a large effort, especially as an adult, to make new friendships in your new home country and to really make friendships with the type of person that you want to be a friend with, whether it be an entrepreneur, somebody who is like minded in your business or your industry. You really want to curate a group of people around you who are like minded and not just make friends with absolutely any foreigner or expat. Not only this, but of course, you're missing major life events when you live abroad, especially if you're living across the globe and it's a 6, 10, 24-hour flight just for you to get home. Births of babies, nieces, nephews. There are so many life events that, yes, sound small, but really compound over time. And again, that really can contribute to potentially having less of a connection with your friends back home because you're simply not there for them on major life events. And likewise, they're not there for you on major life events because you're not in your home country. Another con that I see around many nomads living this global lifestyle is when it comes to their finances. So, especially if you have left your home country system and all of your finance, your banking, your credit, your loans, any mortgages are not in your home country and you have investments and bank accounts globally, then it can become somewhat difficult to manage your finances and manage your money. And that is where private bankers, private investment really comes into play with a lot of our clients because it can be tricky when you have various different accounts with various different sums of money and investments in companies around the globe. This may sound like a small thing, but trust me, it is much more streamlined when everything is based within one country. And especially when you can have advisors in one country and not needing to find a team of experts across the globe. A few more of the negatives that we see of living this lifestyle, and we are going to get to the positives, it's not all negative, is community. Now, community is one of the biggest reasons that I personally see many digital nomads or even global citizens looking to return back to whether it be their home country or really to settle down in one country for 6 to 12 months or longer is because of community. And yes, while Facebook groups, connections on Instagram, even having a podcast and meeting guests and others who are traveling through that outlet is great. You're not always going to be in the same place at the same time as friends that you have when you're spread across the globe, when you're living a nomadic lifestyle, and when you can be anywhere in the world. Now, I don't want to be completely negative on this point. It is very much so possible to meet others who are like minded, who are also nomadic, also full time travelers, similar to what you may be doing while you're on the road. However, you're not going to get along with every individual. And also, it takes a lot of energy to have the same initial conversation. Hi, my name is, I do this. Have that very basic initial conversation with every single person you meet. After doing that for 3, 4, 5 times in one country alone, it gets tiring just to move to another country, have the same conversations again, and not know if you're going to see the people that you're meeting again ever, or potentially for the next 6 months or 1 year plus. So, the last point I'm going to touch on is health and fitness, which very much so comes into play and is important for many digital nomads and global citizens. Of course, if you're traveling the world full time, well, you do very well get exercise simply from traveling, moving locations, moving destinations, and doing great activities such as hiking mountains that you would have never imagined that you would be on. There is still an element of health and wellness that may not be to the level that you had in your home country. Maybe you have the creature comforts of something like Amazon, where you get the foods that you want and you get them delivered to your door. This is not available in most countries around the globe, and this can very well make it difficult for you to get specific curated products that you want, whether that be, for example, a certain protein powder that you like that you can order to your door or you can order on Amazon. I also see difficulties for many nomads around having a routine around physical fitness, especially if you are traveling very often. This looks different if you are staying in one place for 1+ months. But if you're just traveling for a few weeks at a time in different destinations, having a gym membership doesn't really make sense. And if you do have a gym membership, you're likely going to be paying a premium for a day or a weekly pass instead of a monthly or a multi-month pass. Not to mention, when you're Airbnbing or you're in a hotel, you don't know what the gyms around you are going to be like and if they're going to suffice. And while there's a lot more that I could dive in surrounding the negatives of living a digital nomad life, let's move into some of the positives and some of the ways that you can turn these negatives into positive. So, I myself live a global citizen lifestyle, and most of the clients that we work with do as well, where we are really wanting to leave our home country full time with no intention to ever return and set up our life and our finances in jurisdictions that make sense for us. Now, you do have to figure out your travel style, whether that be traveling every few months or getting a year or multi year lease in a destination that you know is tried and true, that you truly do enjoy, potentially from a taxation, but really from a lifestyle perspective. But once you have found that place for you, you can really use that place to network and build connection. Now, I find this is crucial if you're living a global citizen life because, again, you're not going to have the family and friends and the support that you get when you're back home in your home country and physically nearby the people who care about you. So, you really have to build a curated network of those around you in the basis that you are building a home. What I typically see from many clients is they use this as a business opportunity and a network opportunity to really get to know the locals and the foreigners in their industry in the countries that they're relocating to, and then to build a network out from there. And this is great because this means that you're not only having friends and, of course, family by default since you grew up with them, but you're really curating a network that's specific to you and your interests and to get to that next level in business if that is what you're seeking as well. Another positive of living a global citizen lifestyle is from an investment and also a banking perspective. Of course, you can have various different bank accounts throughout the globe and through this obtain different residencies as well. But when you're familiar with a country, a city, and their culture and their way of doing business, you can also really start to understand the investment opportunities that are in the country, whether that be from foreign investment, local investment, and how your skills fit into that. Whether it be starting a business, investing in a property, investing in a business in the country, when you're on the ground in a country and you really get to know that country well, this is when opportunities can really start to stand out. And this is a great positive that I see for many long term global citizens who are wanting to relocate to different countries around the globe. And through that, start opening businesses on the ground in these countries. So, with all of these points in mind, and of course, with what your own personal experience has been, whether it has been as a digital nomad, a global citizen, or if you're just thinking about embarking on this journey for yourself and looking to gain additional information, let me know in the comments below some of the negatives and positives that you have experienced from living a traveling lifestyle. And of course, if you think being a nomad is overrated. If you're interested in learning more about your global citizen diversification options, hit the video on the screen now, and I'll see you there.